Today we're going to talk about the second season of How to Sell Drugs Online Fast. So let's get started. Hey everybody, my name is Justin. I love to watch movies. I also love to watch Netflix, just a little too much. If you guys do too, you guys are in the right spot. Make sure to hit that subscribe button down below and click that bell notification for more up and coming videos. To win back the love of his life, a high school student and his best friend launch Europe's largest online drug business from their teenage bedroom. I just watched the first season of How to Sell Drugs Online Fast the other day, and I jumped into the second season right away. And this was a show that I heard about for a while. I just had no interest in checking it out. Watching the first season and then immediately starting the second season, there is such a good transition into the second season. This is a 6-episode series about a teenager named Moritz who starts to sell drugs online with his best friend Lenny. It becomes a very popular online drug business, and they spark the interest of several people around them. And in the second season, we get to see a little more of Daniel in the fold, and we also get more of Lisa. Lisa had broken up with Moritz in the first season, but we get to see them back together in the second season, and the show does a good job of, showing us what made their relationship work, because we only got a glimpse of it in the beginning of the first season, just through flashbacks and video footage. But the second season shows us why they were in love, but also challenging the couple as well. Daniel in the first season was starting to date Lisa, and now he's starting to work with Moritz and Lenny. So the second season, there's more at stake with people that were involved with other people from the first season. There's cops involved as well. There's just more at stake and more for these characters to get involved in and add interesting storylines throughout. This is still a season that I really do enjoy. I enjoyed the first season, even though it was fairly short. And the second season, I had the same kind of view for it. It's really enjoyable, but I want a little more. 6 episodes just does not do it for me. I want it to be at least 8 to 10 episodes, because these are likable characters, and it's a really quickly paced, interesting storyline of these friends who are just creating this online business that is so popular that they just really can't comprehend it. And it's just fun to see these characters who don't do drugs and just seem like your average kind of high school students who are creating this business that, if you were to discover who were behind creating this business, you wouldn't think of these two characters. And so that makes it really interesting, because of these characters who are just so average, but behind the scenes, they are characters that are kind of manipulative and maneuvering a lot of different things and a lot of product inside just their bedroom. Now, the first season and the second season, there's also something that kind of bugs me, and it's not a big deal, but I want to see a little more of the business behind it. Yes, the series does focus on relationships and high school and them as characters, but I want to see a little more of creating the business and delivering the drugs. And they have a lot of that in the series, but I think that it just hits it on a surface level, and I wanted to see just a lot more of it. And they sell different drugs, and people are, giving them drugs to sell, but there's just so much more they can do. I think of Breaking Bad at times when I watch this show, because, they sell drugs and make drugs in Breaking Bad, but here they're selling drugs. If they would have gone a certain route with like Breaking Bad, of them selling drugs and just more at risk and more of a danger, which I do kind of get that in this season, but there's just so much more they can do with it. Nonetheless, I still think it is a really enjoyable show. Now, Moritz becomes a really intriguing character in here. You could tell that the business is starting to get to him, and he's starting to kind of put that over relationships with his friends and Lisa and his home life as well. His father starts to notice that things just aren't right with him, and he becomes a character that is starting to grow in the wrong way, and he's starting to challenge other people around him. Lenny is starting to, develop his own relationships as well with other characters, and those are interesting. The series does a good job of making these characters grow from just their normal high school average life, adding just more intriguing moments for them. And that's what makes this show so interesting and quickly paced, is because they get these characters that have to make really snap, quick decisions, and it really keeps the show on its toes. The show is funny at times as well. These are characters that, add jokes here and there. It's not overly funny, but it is a really interesting show. And the 6 episodes, like I said, I want more from it. This German show is fascinating to me, and how these characters can get away with certain things, but also just shows the power of the internet and what you can do. So How to Sell Drugs Online Fast was a show I wasn't expecting. I just watched the first season the other day and then immediately started into the second season. There was a good transition to where I paused it and had to figure out what episode I was on. It said season 2, episode 1. I was like, oh wow, I thought this was like the next episode for season 1. It's just got a good transition. So if you wanted to watch this show, start watching season 1 and then don't stop into season 2. And it's got a good, just smooth entry into season 2. How to Sell Drugs Online Fast. Definitely check it out. It's a really quickly paced, interesting show from Germany. Really fascinating characters. I like Lisa. We get a little more of her in this show. Why she broke up with Moritz as well. Daniel becomes a character where they add a lot of depth to him, give him some backstory and why he does what he does. Really interesting characters. Definitely check it out. I'm going to go ahead and give it a B+. Thank you guys for checking my review for How to Sell Drugs Online Fast. Do not sell drugs online at any rate whatsoever. Stay tuned for more up and coming videos. My name is Just Watch Movies, and you guys stay classy.